It's the round that all drivers want to win. A chance to test yourself against the best drivers in the world on the best roads in the world. But Brother Rally New Zealand will be tough on cars and drivers. This is a chance for greatness as the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship comes to the City of Sails, Auckland, New Zealand, powered by Brother.
Hello and welcome to round 4 of the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. It's Brother Rally NZ and a chance for our local stars to measure themselves against the world's best. Let's check out the contenders.
Hi, I'm Richard Mason, the sun's shining, and I'm at Brother Rally New Zealand.
Richard Mason will again campaign his Group N Subaru WRX, co-driven by his wife Sarah. Currently leading the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship, his best result at WRC Rally NZ was 10th overall in 2006. He was first Kiwi in 2006 and 2007.
Hi, I'm Emma Gilmore here at Brother Rally of New Zealand.
Emma Gilmore is second in the championship points. She'll be driving her Group N Subaru Impreza WRX. Her co-driver is her partner Glenn McNeil, and her best result in WRC Rally NZ, 16th overall in 2010, second Kiwi in 2006.
Hi, I'm Matt Jansen, driver of the MyTech Welders Subaru Impreza.
Matt Jansen is the third of our Subaru drivers and has his MyTech Welders Subaru Impreza WRX partnered by Jason Farmer. This is just his second WRC event, having finished 23rd in 2010. Matt is looking to tie up his second New Zealand Junior Rally title at this event.
Hi, my name's Chris West and I drive the Andrew Sims Mitsubishi Evo 9.
Former champion Chris West will be running his trusty Rally Out Mitsubishi Evo 9 at Brother Rally NZ. His best result was first Kiwi in 2005. His co-driver is Chris Cobham.
Rally NZ, what can I say? Fantastic event. Just great to be part of the atmosphere. It's something that we look forward to every second year that we see the international competitors come.
I'm looking forward to getting out on the stages. The cars are going to be going fast and the B&T Subaru will hopefully be right at the front.
So cool to be taking part alongside world champions like Sebastian Loeb, and it's really cool with so many spectators out on the stages. It's a challenging event with long days and big stages, but it's heaps of fun.
My favourite part of the event is definitely having all the international teams and competitors here come to play on our turf and on our terms.
This is an important rally as teams will have a chance to gain valuable points on this event, being that it is run over 3 days. So that means an extra day's worth of points. The trick here is not only to win, but also to finish. Let's check out the highlights with Darcy Waldegrove.
So 3 days of rally and 3 chances to score points, starting with the traditional Raglan stages. And first up, it's 11 Ks of Te Hutawai, a short sprint with a great section at the end.
Go, 7 right.
So Richard Mason will be the first of the New Zealand Championship competitors on the road. He is the first of the non-priority cars to start, so all the WRC cars, the PWRC and SWRC cars have gone before him, leaving a well-swept road. Look at this great road, tight and twisty.
4 right opens.
This stage is a great warm-up to the rally, and the best part is here at the end. The fastest of the PWRC cars so far was Marcus Legato in a Subaru, just like Richard's. His time was 8 minutes 36.1.
Long 4 right plus over crest. Finish.
Well, Mason is going to beat this. 8 minutes 12.1. Chris West next on the stage. West was going to be running an Evo 10 on this event, but a crash and a shakedown rally put paid to those plans, so he's back in the old Evo 9. This may be just a short stage, but it is so important that the drivers get their confidence on this stage, as the next one up is the Whanga Coast, and that is a real challenge. So West down to the finish, and this is okay, but slower than Mason. 8 minutes 20.03, so he's 8.2 seconds down. Emma Gilmore, the third of the vastly experienced New Zealand Championship drivers. A great start for Emma. Just 0.1 behind Mason through the stage. A good start. Back on the start, this is Sloane Cox and his sister, Taryn. Sloan and Taryn really wanting to impress on the world stage here. They'll be looking for some stage wins. Sloan will be hoping that his car doesn't catch fire on this rally, as that has happened too often this year. But he has shown outstanding pace at times, and these stages just the right type to get into a great rhythm and go for it. Sloan looking good too. His time 8 minutes 17.4, so just 5 seconds slower than Richard and Emma. That's a good start. Matt Jansen comes to this event poised to claim the New Zealand Junior Rally title for a second time. He's been Mr. Consistent over the previous 2 rounds, but the car has never really been 100%. But Matt has always gone well on the roads around Whangarei, which will feature on day 2.
17 to short, 6 left.
And Matt's time, 8 minutes 21.6, about equal with West. Brian Green stopped at the start of the stage, so next car on the stage for the New Zealand Rally Championship was the Group N Ford Fiesta of Ben Hunt with a time of 8 minutes 51. Matt Summerfield led the open class and was 6th fastest, 22 seconds down on Matt Jansen. Dave Strong's S2000 car is out of official homologation, so he has to run in the Possum-born field. And what a great opportunity this is for Dave to drive this car on the WRC roads that it was designed for. Let's ride along for a moment.
Long 4 left plus, close 4 right minus.
So let's see what sort of time this mighty little car can do on Te Hutawai, stage 1 of Rally NZ. Time to the finish, 8 minutes 47.9, just slightly slower than Summerfield. An amazing effort by Alex Kelsey to rebuild his wrecked car in 3 weeks, but a little off the pace, 9 minutes 13.4. Marcus van Klink also enjoying the opening stage and fastest 2-wheel drive, just 1 second down on Strong. Dave Holder had a good start as well, faster than Ben Hunt and just 1 second behind Van Klink. Another piece of history, Duncan McCrosty in the Bluebird Turbo, bringing back memories of early Rally New Zealand and a 10th equal on the stage with Hunt. Ahead of David Thexton, who had a new car for this rally. Third historic car, the Toyota Corolla of Miles McElwain. And another piece of Rally New Zealand history, this historic 323 of Hugh Spence. So Richard Mason off to a good start and Emma Gilmore just 0.1 seconds behind. So to the second stage of the day, and this will be key to day 1 of Brother Rally New Zealand. Just under 30 kilometres, this stage has it all. A super fast start for 10k before the going gets tough as the road heads toward the coast. Then it gets really tough as the road snakes its way along the coast around the base of Mount Porongia.
Go, 20, short 6.
Richard Mason will be thinking about making a break here. He has had good and bad results on this stage.
Keep in 30. Short 4 left plus and 4 right plus opens 20. Short.
This is the spectator spot, and look at the people. Great to see the crowd staying to see the New Zealand drivers too. Mason goes past, split time 7:27.2.
23 left.
So Chris West at the 10k junction, and already looks like he's lost more time. Split 7:37.2.
4 right minus narrows into 2 left plus, late.
This is Emma Gilmore. Time looks good. Split 7:28.3.
Left over crest.
Following Emma now, this is Matt Jansen. It's a crucial rally for Matt as he chases the New Zealand Junior Rally title for a second time. Here he comes to the split, 7:35.2.
Right minus. 40 to 2 left plus. 5 right minus, 42 left plus.
And a good start by Sloane Cox on stage 1. Now driving hard here. A big slide into the corner, and his split, 7:30.3.
And 32 left plus.
Crest 50, slippy 5 left.
The stage dives down through farmland before it comes out onto the coast. A fantastic piece of road that winds down through the valley.
No, if I can get the clutch back,
20,
we'll be right.
5 left plus.
Okay, I've got no clutch,
30,
all right.
6 right over absolute crest.
Having
10
no
right.
clutch shouldn't be a problem on the stage, as the drivers can change gear without using the clutch, but problems will arise in touring and at stage starts. Let's ride with Richard to the finish.
Opens, keep in. Repeat long 3 right minus opens. Keep in.
The Group N record is 21 minutes 47, while Richard is nowhere near that in these conditions.
3 left minus.
22 minutes 32.6.
22.32.
Chris West was a little down on Mason at the split. Let's see if he can make it up.
And short right into 3 left minus.
It looks like Westie's struggled in this stage. Maybe he's got a problem. Anyway, down to the line, and his time, 23.10.7. He's lost 38 seconds to Mason. Emma Gilmore was sensational on the stage, just 1.5 seconds down on Mason. She has come here to challenge for the win. Matt Jansen lost some time on the early part of the stage, and it looks like he's continuing to lose more time too.
2 left tightens. 70.
He lost 46 seconds on the stage, and that will be hard to make up. Sloane Cox safely through the stage, 22 minutes 48.2, so third fastest and still in touch. Dave Strong looking for his best performance on Rally NZ. The Fiesta S2000 in good company here with a full field of the World Championship S2000 cars at Brother Rally NZ. This stage is perfect for the S2000 cars. While they will lose some time over the fast opening 20k, the tight, twisty coastal road is perfect for these nimble handling cars.
3 right.
Strong's time is 23 minutes 55, just a couple of seconds slower than the 2011 model Fiesta S2000 of Maciej Olszewicz. Matt Summerfield won the Possum Ball Memorial Rally in 2010, and here again he was leading that class and 6th in the New Zealand Championship field behind Jansen. Ben Hunt, the only Fiesta from the New Zealand Championship to enter Rally NZ. He was in giant killing form, having overtaken one of the PWRC Mitsubishis on this stage and lying 9th fastest of the championship cars. But fastest two-wheel drive honour so far going to his old rival Marcus van Klink in the Group B RX-7. Duncan McCrosty and Andrew Graves' second historic car. David Holder withdrew with mechanical issues, so David Thexton took over the 12th position. Miles McElwain having a good battle for third in the historic class in his Corolla, managing to stay ahead of the Mazda 323 BFMR Group A of Hugh Spence. Richard Mason leading after Whanga Coast. He's got a 1.6 second lead over Emma Gilmore. Sloane Cox still in touch, but Chris West with some work to do. After a refuel at Raglan, it's on to 2 great Rally NZ stages, Te Ako North and South, which run in a double loop on the road south of Port Waikato. And it's a wild slide for Richard Mason as he takes on the Te Ako stages. Remember, there are about 25 cars from the WRC, PWRC and S2000 class in front of him on the road. The stage condition is holding up quite well, although these stages look to be damper than the Whanga Coast.
At 40.
On board and just look at the tracks and the road. Now the secret to a good time on these stages will be smooth driving and keeping in the swept tracks, as the road will be slippery on the outside. Richard did a time of 19 minutes 33.3, stage 4 now, and you can see how Richard loses a little time when the car goes wide. But stage time of 18 minutes 28.6, that's nearly a minute faster than the old Group N record. Chris West had complained that his car felt loose over the Whanga Coast stage. He'd lost nearly a minute compared to Mason on the first 2 stages, so he'd be hoping for a better run on the Te Ako stages. And a definite improvement improvement, 6.2 seconds down on stage 3 and over 5 seconds faster on stage 4. In fact, his stage 4 time faster than the old record set by Richard Burns in 1997. Emma Gilmore continues to match Richard Mason's outright pace though. Third fastest on stage 3 and still holding second overall in the standings after stage 4, just 12 seconds behind Mason. Sloane Cox taking a different approach through these roads, allowing the car to slide wide and occasionally touching the banks. Spectacular, yes, but it was costing him time. 30 seconds down on Mason on stage 3.
10. 4 right tightens 2, don't go wide.
The car had also developed a slight oil leak, smoke trailing behind him through the stages. But inside the cockpit, Sloane seems unaware. Has time to relax on this long straight before the next corner. Sloane would finish the morning in third, but Chris West only half a second behind in fourth.
30, 8 left. Repeat, 7 right, 30, 8 left.
Matt Jansen had bent his rear suspension with that spin on stage 2, so he had his hands full, keeping the car straight and away from the loose gravel that is built up on the side of the roads. But his main aim is to finish the rally and win the junior champion title. Matt was 5th overall at the end of the morning stages. Although, interestingly, all of the Kiwi Group N drivers had shown better pace than the competitors in the Production World Rally Championship, who were running ahead of them on the road. Matt Summerfield doesn't have the pace of the Group N cars in his older open class Subaru, but he was 6th overall and had been battling with Dave Strong throughout the morning. Running in the Possum Ball Memorial Rally at the back of the Brother Rally NZ field, Strong and Summerfield had a big disadvantage on the roads as conditions were getting quite rough and cut up.
Short 8 right, 5 left plus, 4 right plus.
But Strong took 1 second off Summerfield in stage 3, and then on stage 4 he pulled back another 7 seconds to finish the morning just 6.3 seconds behind.
Plus opens over small crest 30. Long 6 right.
Marcus van Klink was limping back to service after damaging his suspension. David Holder and Duncan McCrosty were also out with suspension damage, so Ben Hunt took over the two-wheel drive lead in 8th. So Richard Mason leads by 12.7 seconds after what has been a tough morning for the Kiwis. Chris West was 3rd, but driving into service at Raglan, the car was stopped on the side of the road.
Fantastic place, Raglan, but it wasn't our intention to be staying here this long. So unfortunately, we had an issue this morning, and it's been leaking oil out of the rear diff, and now it's just unfortunately it's locked solid. So that's where we stopped.
And Alex Kelsey facing a repair job in service after breaking a drive shaft.
It's broken a piece inside the rear axle, which made it like two-wheel drive, and so like every time I put my foot on the throttle, it would like try and spear it off the road. So we didn't want to repeat a Flumin' Otago, so decided to stop.
So you're likely to rejoin?
Yep, we'll be back out this afternoon.
Emma Gilmore handed the steering wheel to her co-driver as she took a rest heading into service.
Yeah, well, it was quite a big morning, so I just had a bit of a nice chill out on the way back, so it was good. Yeah, just because it's such a long day today, just sort of conserve energy and, yeah, be ready to go again this afternoon.
Sloane, just a little bit of damage in the back there.
Yeah, on Whanga Coast, got a bit wider on the corners and pulled the edge of the bumper off, but apart from that, it's been pretty fun.
And the car's going okay?
Yeah, car's going awesome. Few little problems and just doesn't quite feel right, but don't check it in service, but apart from that, the car's going nicely.
Matt, I understand a spin may have cost you a bit of time.
Yeah, we just overcooked it on Whanga Coast. I heard 4 left, but apparently it was a 2. Yeah, it was coming about hot. We've bent the rear suspension arms in the car, so all morning I should say, the car's been stepping out under brakes because it's got a massive amount of tow out in the rear, so hopefully we can fix that now. We've got a little bit of parts on board, so if we can get that sorted, we can try and make some time back this afternoon.
Richard, strong start to the morning, some good times there, but Westy caught you in that last stage.
Yeah, Westy was obviously quick in the last one. We've been actually missing a clutch, so we've got to start on the key at the start of stages, so we're losing sort of 5 to 10 seconds each stage anyway, so that's all right.
Coming up after the break, we repeat the stages. Can Richard Mason keep going with no clutch? And who will end the day in front on the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship?
Welcome back to Brother Rally NZ. Unfortunately, Chris West's bad luck continues as he's unable to carry on this afternoon. Can Richard Mason hold his clutch together, or will Emma Gilmore take another day win? I'm about to sample the wonderful food here that the local communities always put on. So here's Darcy with the action.
Thanks, Kendall. The weather remains fine as Richard Mason heads back out to Te Hutawai. Once again, road conditions are going to be critical. Looks like this stage has a good hard base, although it's still quite damp. Oh, very wide approach this corner by Richard Mason, but he gets away with it. And his time over the stage, faster than the morning, 8 minutes 04.2. Emma Gilmore also faster over the second run, just 2.5 seconds slower than Richard, so she remains competitive and ready to pounce if Mason slips up.
And medium 4 left.
Sloane Cox is pushing hard.
Caution, 3 right, over crest in. 50. Kink right into 2 left, don't cut.
And his car not really staying within the tracks and a lot of understeer here. But still, 8 minutes 11 seconds is a good time.
To short 6 left.
Matt Jansen had made repairs to his rear suspension and service, but under WRC rules, the cars can only be serviced during the day with parts that are carried in the car. So Matt was still having some handling issues on left-hand corners.
30, 4 right half long, hug double.
However, he was pushing hard and third fastest on the stage behind Gilmore. Dave Strong and Matt Summerfield continued their battle. Strong was just a few seconds slower on the stage, but Summerfield was late out of service, so it was now running a 20-second penalty.
180. 6 left plus, 6 left minus, long 5 right plus, into 5 right minus, 4 left minus, repeat long 5 right into 5 right minus.
With West out, Summerfield would hold on to 6th, but Strong was now up to 5th place in the New Zealand standings. For Ben Hunt, it was a matter of keeping consistent and staying on the road, as his competition all had issues. But true to his word, Alex Kelsey did get back on the stages after service, but would not score points after missing stage 3 and 4. So on to the stunning Whanga Coast. Really, this is the signature stage of Rally New Zealand, and the conditions were perfect.
Left and right 20, left 10, 3 right open.
Richard Mason made the start okay, despite having to start the stages on his starter motor in first gear. But his times were still competitive, and he reported that the gearbox was handling the clutchless changes okay. So let's see what his time is at this stage end. First run through was 22:32.6, this time 21 minutes 58.6. Emma Gilmore lost 20 seconds to Richard Mason on the stage, although she was still faster than her first run through, so the gap to Mason now 35 seconds.
1, go.
Sloane Cox on the start and looking to improve. But something is seriously wrong with the car.
Going to fight. I think I locked it.
20, short 7 left.
He loses a small amount of time before he can finally get going, but all is not well and he is slow through the stage.
4 plus late opens 20.
No spins for Matt Jansen this time through the Coast Road, although he was 51 seconds slower than Richard Mason. He would move past Sloane Cox and take over 3rd position.
And 3 right don't, and 3 left, and 2 right plus. 50 to 5 left, tightens to a 3.
Matt Summerfield put up a good time, but the battle with Strong was over on this stage.
2
The
right
S2000 Fiesta has been very reliable this season, but that was to end here. A terminal engine failure for Strong, and that would be the end of Brother Rally NZ for him.
No.
Don't know, Zedka. Smoke. Water. Seized.
I can't get out again.
You'll have to.
I can't.
Okay, give us a Zedka.
Oh.
Ben Hunt had an easy lead in two-wheel drive. But David Holder was running again, and amazingly these two cars separated in the stage by under 2 seconds. And Miles McElwain, the lone historic survivor in his Corolla. Sloane Cox was sidelined in Raglan. The problem was in his gearbox, and it was looking terminal.
Stage 5, I kind of noticed a whining sound that got louder and louder. And then on stage 6, still on start line, didn't think much of it. It wasn't until I took off that I realised that something wasn't right in the gearbox, and it stopped selecting second. Then by the end of the stage, I had 3rd and 4th gear to use and had to crawl out with that. And then pulled over hoping it was something little, but nah. No selector was falling off or anything, so that was definitely a terminal inside the gearbox.
It's time to leave the stunning Raglan area with its surf break and scenic harbour. But Marcus van Klink will remain in service as the suspension damage was too bad. He'll concentrate on restarting on day 2. So just 2 stages left, Te Ako South and North. A successful day for Ben Hunt, and this result puts him back in contention for the Group N two-wheel drive championship. But the pace of David Holder had been impressive today. Without that breakdown in the morning, he would have led the two-wheel drive division. Miles McElwain finishes first historic for the day. The first time he's achieved this, and a great result. But it's the battle for the championship lead that is being fought out on these stages by the surviving Group N cars. Let's fly with the Brother Rally NZ eye in the sky as we chase down Richard Mason on the closing stages of the day. Even from here, you can see how cut up the road is, but also how careful Richard is to keep a smooth line. (19 minutes 23.3 on stage 7. And here on the final stage, 18 minutes 24.3 to hold on to the day 1 lead. Emma Gilmore taking a wider approach here and finishing the day now 51 seconds behind Mason. From on board Matt Jansen, you can see how the stage is cutting up and the road is still quite damp. A good day for Matt though, finishing 3rd and the last of the Group N four-wheel drive cars after a tough day for everyone.
And 2 left, a double don't.
By the time Matt Summerfield came to the stage, it was dark, just to add to the challenge of running so far down the order. But Matt still with an excellent result, now 4th. So Richard Mason leads the day by 51 seconds from Emma Gilmore. Matt Jansen in 3rd, but 4 minutes down. Another 4 minutes to Summerfield, then Ben Hunt. Sloane Cox uses the Super Rally rule to stay in 6th.
Richard Mason, Team B&T, fair to say, what a first day.
Yeah, it's been a pretty amazing first day. We've had a really up and down day. On the second stage, we had the part of the clutch break on us, so we've been running the whole day with no clutch. And although in a road car that would mean that we can't go any further, in a rally car we can actually continue because we've got a gearbox that doesn't require us to use the clutch. The only time we normally use the clutch is on a start line or in touring. So touring stages have been a bit interesting, and start lines we've actually got to stop, have the engine off, put the car in gear and drive off. So you lose a bit of time, but you know, it's not the end of the world. We've been knocking the car around a few other ways as well, so you know, the boys have got a bit to do.
Good, consistent results today, 2nd all afternoon.
Yeah, we had a good afternoon, had a good day. The car performed really well, and really it was just just been thinking about my driving, trying to improve a few things, and yeah, no, it was a good day.
51 seconds to catch Mason.
Yeah, I mean, there's still quite a few kilometres to go for the event, and as has been proven today, anything can still happen, and mechanical or anything. So really, the guys will do a good job now, make sure the car's all set again for another 2 days of competition, and hopefully we have a good run.
Good, consistent third place all afternoon, plus your third overall for the day.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We when we went into that bank in Whanga Coast, we thought, oh, we might not be getting away with this one. So very lucky to be here this afternoon, and now we can go back to roads we know tomorrow up in Whangarei Way and try and put a bit of a push on, try and make some time back with Emma.
So it's been a tough day on the stages, with just 3 of the Group N cars surviving. Just what is it about Rally NZ that makes it so hard?
It's a tough event. I mean, today was a huge amount of kilometres we did, and they're really challenging stages, and then everyone is going really fast. With the 2-pass of recce, you know that you have good pace notes, and then with the World Rally cars out front, they sweep a lot of gravel off the road, so it makes a real fast racing line. So, it's all about commitment and carrying good speed.
Everyone tries so hard for this event because it's such a big thing for everybody to win this in Group N. So everyone's just trying, and then things are breaking.
Rally New Zealand it's one of those times of the year when everyone just feels like they should, step it up a gear. And the roads are fairly swept, and the WRC guys go first. They they sweep the road in a different sort of way to normal, where you can really have like a racing line through the corners. So the pace is really high when they're here, and it's a good time.
What an action-packed first day. It seems Brother Rally of New Zealand hasn't been kind to any of the drivers. Unfortunately, Sloane Cox and Chris West are both out. Here's hoping they'll rejoin tomorrow. However, plagued with problems, Richard Mason still leads the way. But can he hold on to it? We'll check it out after the break. Welcome back to Brother Rally NZ. It's a new day and a stunning morning as the teams prepare to start stage 1, with 7 challenging stages lying ahead on the cambered roads around Mangatoroto. What will be in store for the teams today?
Day 2 of Brother Rally NZ starts with Batley, a great stage which drops down to the upper reaches of the Kaipara Harbour below Mangatoroto. Richard Mason still with no clutch, so starting on the key in first gear.
80, long 4 right. Have you done your diff?
I asked you to do it.
I didn't know what to do to it. Long 4 right. And long 6.
A little confusion at the start, but they are away. The stage is well swept and is surprisingly dry, so Richard has good road conditions. This is a great stage to get day 2 started, and Richard will be keen to keep his overall lead and also claim the day 2 bonus points. So let's see what his time is. The PWRC car of Legato did the stage in 10 minutes 58. Well, Richard's going to obliterate that time. 10 minutes 25, that's faster than both Team Portugal WRC minis. But Emma Gilmore even faster through the stage, 10 minutes 23.6, so she will lead the standings for day 2. Matt Jansen had his rear suspension all sorted after the Friday night service. You can see from the onboard just how swept the stage is, and Matt's certainly driving with enthusiasm. His time, 10 minutes 35.8. Sloane Cox back on the stages with a replacement gearbox.
8 right, 50, Kia 7 right Titan, 6 over medium fast crest.
Oh!
This Titan 6 over medium fast crest.
Oh, well, that is definitely not the start Sloane wanted. Chris West also continuing in the overall standings using the Super Rally option, and he also needs to score good day 2 points.
And 5 right plus.
New diff and steering rack, so he should be better off today. His time, 10 minutes 27.1. Brian Green rejoins the Group N battle on day 2 after only travelling 1 kilometre on stage 1. And after teething problems on day 1, Alex Kelsey has his open class Subaru back on form, 6th fastest on the stage. But it's Matt Summerfield who leads the open class as he finished day 1. This will be good for Matt's points as he missed round 2, Wairarapa. Next up, Brother Mititai, a shortened leg of the famous Arurua stage. This road typical of the fast cambered North Auckland stages.
Absolute.
Richard Mason on the attack now. His overall lead is safe, but he wants to maintain a perfect score and get top points for day 2 as well. Remember, Richard is losing 5 to 7 seconds on every rally stage start at the moment, and he'll be hoping that the strain on the gearbox doesn't wreck his chances. Down to the finish then.
Opens 50 over finish. 5 right
12
opens.
minutes 54.2. Emma Gilmore chasing hard, but just wide on that corner, and she'll drop 4 seconds to Richard on the stage, but hold on to the day 2 lead.
Good start to the day, managed to win the first stage?
Yeah, it was a good start to the car. The car's handling well, just feels a bit down in power. So so not really 100% sure. It just feels a bit slow, and so hopefully we'll get through the next stage and then see how we go.
Matt Jansen running next on the road, but he's struggling to get a smooth line on the stage, and that's costing him a second per kilometre. This time 13 minutes 20.4.
60, full right, and 5 left, double, tightens to 3. It's 4 right and 5 left, double, tightens to 3.
Sloane Cox looking smoother, so maybe he's got away with no damage from the previous stage.
Five left minus narrows, 30.
It's gonna work.
5 left minus.
Much longer.
Maybe not.
Flat crest, 30. 7 right minus, 30. 6 right plus, 80.
Sloane, not such good luck again today. Do you have the stuff on the back of the car to be able to fix it?
We think we can do a repair on the side of the road just to be able to get out to service, but we don't quite have the right gear right now. But we're missing a few tools to be able to get the arm off. It's a bit of a mistake, but we'll be able to hopefully put something with a pipe and ratchet tight on it together and crawl through the next stage.
Unfortunately, Sloane, that wasn't the case. Out again on day 2. Chris West back on track this morning and posting 3rd fastest time, 9 seconds down on Gilmore.
100. 5 left minus and 4 right minus.
Chris, how'd it go out there?
Yeah, it's good. No, we're reasonably comfortable. I just obviously with the changes we made yesterday, I'm still not quite sure exactly what we've got in the rear, and just struggling for a little bit of grip there. So a few small changes in the last, the first 2 stages this morning, and I'll just wee bit of work to do yet.
Back on the road and back at the head of the 2-wheel drive battle. David Holder, very impressive in his open class Corolla. His talent recognised during the week, with Hayden Padden announcing he would mentor David this year. In fact, Holder overtook Matt Summerfield on this stage. Summerfield slowed with a few small issues with his car. Ben Hunt happy to keep his position leading the 2-wheel drives in the overall standings on the rally. Back for day 2, Duncan McCrosty, his car repaired and looking for a chance to gain some points on Van Klink. Marcus Van Klink was back, but his engine wasn't sounding too healthy, so a question mark over him. Behind him, David Thexton was the only other open class car. Certainly this car has a lot more performance than the older blue Subaru that he used at Rally Whangarei. McElwain was steady on the road, and with Van Klink looking doubtful, he was looking good to again lead the historic class. Hugh Spence, though, struggling to match the pace in his little Mazda 323. So the day 2 standings after stage 10, and Emma Gilmore will be happy to be leading, but Mason remains a threat. What a standout performance though by David Holder. Now to one of the standout stages of Brother Rally NZ. Girls High School, 27k, it's fast and offers a chance for the good drivers to attack. So let's go for a ride through the stage with Richard Mason.
Opens eventually 45 left and right 50, bridge short 6 right 40, 6 left and bumpy 6
Look
right.
at this fantastic road. Richard really flying here. Let's go to the line then.
5 right opens, absolute crest finish 100, 4 right.
16 minutes 24.9. And that would prove to be crucial. Emma Gilmore only able to post a time of 16 minutes 38.8, so she drops to second on the Day 2 standings. Chris West still looking for his first stage win. Confidence growing in the car as he attacks the stage.
And 2 left plus.
Four wheels off the ground. This could be a good time.
5 right minus, exit on
Mason's time is 16 minutes 24.9. West will be slower, 16 minutes 35, second fastest. Confidence growing in this car too. Matt Jansen really attacking the road. This is what is so great about these WRC events. The drivers don't have to worry about sweeping roads, and when conditions are dry like this, the drivers can push a lot harder than normal. This combined with 2 pass recce's leads to very good times. Jansen, 4th fastest. David Holder still beating all of the other 2-wheel drive cars in his little Corolla. And that means he was still holding 5th overall and keeping Matt Summerfield behind him. Green just happy to pace himself to the finish, and the road is starting to cut up here. Ben Hunt just didn't have the power to match on these super fast stages, but he was still in front of Brian Green in the standings. Marcus Van Klink, meanwhile, looking forward to getting to service as he dropped behind Duncan McCrosty. So the Day 2 standings after stage 11, and Mason now in the lead by 6.5 seconds from Emma Gilmore, then West.
Emma, great start to the day. You managed to win the first stage.
Yeah, we had a good start of the day. The car's handling well. We just, in the last couple of stages, just seemed to deteriorate a little bit, and it was just a little bit unnerving, especially in the last stages, some really big cambers, and the car just got really taily at times. So it's a bit hard to drive with the full commitment when you're just not sure what the car's going to do. So still going okay, but just hopefully we can find something wrong with it at service now.
Richard, I believe a hard night last night. The guys working on the car, have they fixed the problem?
Unfortunately, they didn't really fix all the problems. We've got power steering again, although you get air in your power steering. In the first stage this morning, it was we still had some power steering issues, but that's cleared out, and that's all good. But the gearbox is still the same, no clutch.
Doesn't seem to show it too much in your times, though. You're still doing really well out there.
Yeah, like I said before, we don't necessarily have to use the clutch other than on touring and starts and finishes. So. It was difficult at the start of the first stage this morning, the finish of the first stage this morning was very, very steep, and we were lucky to get the car moving from there.
Well, it seems Rally New Zealand has again been hard on the drivers. Can Sloane Cox fix his car? And will Richard Mason make it through the afternoon? We'll check it all out after the break.
Welcome back to the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship. This is Brother Rally NZ. Waipu Gorge was used on Brother Rally Whangarei this year, but now it will be run in reverse, starting up Doctors Hill Road and finishing through the gorge. Richard Mason at the start, and once again here's the frustration of a key start with no clutch. Another 7 seconds lost at the stage start.
50.
Water spray.
5 right minus done.
Yeah, but not on.
Replete absolute crest 50, 5 right minus.
What a spectacular piece of road this is.
30, long 3 left. And right.
So down to the line.
4 left over finish and 4 right minus open.
And Richard posts 6 minutes 58.7. Not particularly fast. Emma Gilmore on the attack. She was determined to stay in contact with Mason. Just 2 seconds slower over the stage here. Matt Jansen have made changes to the car in service, although the team are very limited to what they can do in these flexi service situations. This stage, all about getting the best out of the handling of the cars, just like the end of Whanga Coast. Matt's down about 11 seconds on the leaders though.
Yep. Got ready, good driving.
Chris West knows these stages well. He is one of New Zealand's most experienced drivers, and he'll be hungry for stage wins today after such a disappointing day one.
Into 3 right plus.
So West comes down to the line.
4 right plus into 3 left plus tightens. Into 3 right minus.
6 minutes 59.5. Oh, just 0.8 down on Mason. A huge crowd gathered at the Brooks stage and the famous Hella Bridge, an iconic sight for Rally New Zealand fans. So let's run with 2 rally champions down to the bridge. Mason is on the left and ahead, but goes wide and it's neck and neck to the finish. Over the jump.
Right. 30.
50.
Big right hooker.
Finish. 150.
Keep left.
Down to the line, and Chris West finally gets a stage win on Brother Rally NZ. So the day 2 results after special stage 13. Mason leads Gilmore by 4.8 seconds, West 8.3 seconds behind the leader, Richard Mason. Stage 14, Mititai, the first of the repeated stages. But on these hard-based roads, it looks like one of the motorway on gravel stages that the WRC drivers talk about.
Repeat 5 left and 5 right. Opens 50, 5 right plus, crest 20, 4 left plus. Repeat
Stage time in the morning run for Richard Mason was 12 minutes 54.2.
Opens 50 over finish and 5 right opens.
Well, look at this. Slower this afternoon, 13 minutes 09.6. Emma Gilmore also slower, 13 minutes 10.2, so the road has suffered after the rally passed through. Chris West, 3rd fastest through the stage, but was 7 seconds down on the 2 Subarus. He was running further down the road order, and it did seem that the road was getting slower.
4 right minus 50.
If you fancy yourself as a rally car driver, just check out the footwork required by Matt Jansen through the stage. A combination of left foot braking, clutch and accelerator. An interesting dance on the pedals.
5 right, 40 to 2 left plus tightens. So 2 left plus tightens.
Matt Summerfield had moved ahead of David Holder and held on to 5th place on this stage. But Holder hadn't given up, and he was only 1.9 seconds behind at the stage end. Ben Hunt had given up the chase for 2-wheel drive honours. He was just trying to get the car home. Miles McElwain showing Mr. Consistency styles in his Corolla. If it hadn't been for the dramas in day one, McCrosty would be comfortably leading the Historics. Let's hope for better on day 2. And David Thexton proving that years away from his favourite discipline in motorsport hasn't slowed him down at all. And a more reliable run today in his 3.23 from Hugh Spence. So just one stage to go. It's the repeat of Girls High Road. It's been a tough day for Richard Mason, nursing his clutchless car home across the stages. But he has achieved another day win and holds on to the rally overall lead in the Brian Green Property Group New Zealand Rally Championship.
Gravel. 5 right opens. Absolute crest finish. Go, go, go. 100. 4 right. 16.
Chris West was looking like he would score points on this day, but his terrible luck continued.
Oh, bloody 7 Ks. 5 right plus.
The oil cooler is damaged and the car is leaking oil, so he has no choice but to pull over. He did manage to repair it, but was out of time when he returned to service. So Emma Gilmore would take second place on day 2 and be second overall in the standings. West's bad luck hands Jansen third place for day 2 and third on the rally. He's looking good now to take the Junior Rally Champion title.
To fast 6 left, minus jumps, exit. So fast 6 left, minus jump, exit, line, crest, jump, 50 to 5 right.
But drama late in the day as the PWRC Mitsubishi of Ramona Carlson bursts into flames and burnt out on the stage. The crew were okay, but the stage was cancelled, so all of the remaining competitors, including our New Zealand Championship cars, were toured through the stage once the fire was put out. So the day 2 standings see Richard Mason lead from Emma Gilmore, then Jansen, Summerfield, Holder and Hunt. And in the standings overall after 2 days, Richard Mason now with a good lead over Gilmore, Jansen, Summerfield, Hunt and Miles McElwain, the last of the cars still running.
Richard, another challenging day.
Yeah, it has been another challenging day. Look, the guys are just working on the car now and they've had the gearbox out and put a new clutch in and it's all connected, and they tell me that we're going to have a clutch tomorrow. So, you know, hopefully tomorrow's a good day. Despite that, you had some really strong times today. Yeah, we had some really good times today. We're still losing 5 to 10 seconds on the stage starts, so the tracking shows that we're losing time at the starts and then, you know, picking up after that. So, yeah, we're pretty happy. Thoughts going into tomorrow? Thoughts are it's a short day tomorrow, and we still have like day points for championship. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. You know, there's the power stage in there as well, and we know that the power stage is important. So yeah, it's still a very important day, even though it's short. Emma, another challenging day. You managed to finish second overall, 12.8 behind Richard.
Yeah, we had a good day. I mean, we were right on Richard's pace all day, which was really, really good, and just unfortunately just not quite enough. We sort of lost a bit too much on some of the stages, especially just before lunch when we had the car handling not so good, and luckily we were able to sort that and had better speed this afternoon. Only other sort of thing we've had trouble with is just the gearbox, keep missing quite a few gears, so we're just going to try and change something tonight so we'll have a better day tomorrow.
Matt, today was quite good for you. You shuffled up to third overall.
Yeah, no, it's been a good day, so we're just hanging in there now. We're not quite on Richard and Emma's pace, obviously, but it's an endurance event, this rally, that's for sure.
Your car seems to be hanging in there quite well too.
It is, yeah. There's obviously that little bit of damage we're still carrying in the rear subframe, but we're just going to have to deal with that. It is what it is. So we're just going to make some changes now for tomorrow and see how we go.
Another good day, 4th overall.
Yeah, no, pretty happy with how the day's gone. We'll just sort of consolidate and keeping where we are and just get through tomorrow. Yesterday
I spoke to you, had overheating problems. Are they solved now?
Almost, yeah. We're eliminating things as we go and we're on the last thing now, so hopefully that'll sort it.
Plans going into tomorrow?
Just get to the end. Yeah, we've done all the hard yards now and tomorrow's a short day, so it'd be silly to throw it away now.
It really does seem like Brother Rally New Zealand has yet again lived up to its reputation. Will there be another sting in the tail tomorrow? We'll find out after the break.